Very good morning, children. First of all, I hope you would be quarantined properly, you would be adhering the social distancing, and I am very hopeful that you will be properly protected in your family. My very blessings, may God secure you from the corona disasters. Student, in our previous audio, I had presented before you that French Revolution, how it started. You also listen me that French society was divided into three category. The category means in the French history state. State means category. The French society, this was divided into three states. First state clergy, second state nobility, third states middle class traders, artisans, peasants and farmers. Students, you also listen me that this was very controversial society. All the privileges, all the facilities, all the dues, this was only this was only had to given from the third states. Clergy and nobilities, they were only parasites. They were living luxurious life. They were parasiting, but they had nothing to give to the state. All things they were excluded, all the tax, all the dues, all the contribution, all the activities had to conducted from the third state sides. Students, the French society, the social disparity, the social inequality that angered to the French people. During the emergence of trade, a new middle class emerged there. They highlighted the problems of French society, and the third state, they were very unhappy with the clergy and nobility. Student, between that, France was facing the lack of crops, lack of rain, and different problems. This was a very crisis of food. Population was increasing, but due to the crop disasters, the production of France could not survive to the all population. In this severity, French people had no option to get the solution. On the other side, Louis XVI, he was living luxurious life. He was wasting the money and treasury, and finally his treasury was empty. In France, this was tradition. If new taxes are required to start, this was need of States General meeting. What was the States General, student? States General, this was a political body. This was continued in 17th century, but before 175 years, this was never called by the monarch of France. But when the treasury was totally empty, Louis XVI had no option. He had to only option to start the new taxes. That's why he called the meeting of States General. Now you understand the structure of States General. In States General, student, 1200 representatives were. 300 representatives were sent from the first states. 300 representatives were sent from the second states, and 600 representatives, they were represented by third state. But in the hall where meeting was organized, the seating arrangement was very discriminatory, very discriminatory. The first state, second state, they were supposed to sit on the frontal zone, on the frontal seats, and the third state representative, they were supposed to stand back. This was very discriminatory. Second, Louis XVI wanted that voting tradition. What was the voting tradition in the proposal, in the meeting, in the States General? This was the tradition that 300 is equal to 1, 300 is equal to 1, and 600 was also equal to 1 vote by law. This tradition was very controversial, student. Are you understanding my point? 300 is equal to 1, 300 is equal to 1, and 600 is equal to 1. Was that justified? Was that 600 was equal to 1? Was that satisfactory division of the vote? No. Surely no. That's why third states members, they were very unhappy. They were rigid. There would be composite voting. There would be collective voting. If the collective voting would be there, then the decision would be gone in the favor of third state. But Louis XVI did not want. He was not ready to accept the demand of the third states of composite voting. That's why third states members, they walked out from the States General Meeting. They assembled in the tennis court. There they determined, they taken the oath that till that time they would make a constitution and king would be knitted down, responsible down to that constitution. He will run the country according to the constitution. He could not take the decision lonely. Student, when the third state members they assembled their tennis court, that news spread in the France, and Paris was very vibrated. People were very ignited. People were very unhappy, and they started to rob the residence of the nobilities. And finally, the Bastille, that was the fortress prison. वह एक दुर्ग जेल था. The most of the prisoners were kept out there, detained out there, and that was a symbol of monarchy, absolute monarchy. That's why people attacked on the Bastille. They broken out the walls of the Bastille and they released the prisoners and they started to spread in the most of the corners of the France. France was totally ignited in the revolution. This incident, the breaking of the Bastille, this was happened on 14 July 1789, student. This date is starting date of the French Revolution. And the members who assembled and tennis court, they made a constitution. In their making of constitution, two personality also very contributed there, Mirabeau and Abysses. Mirabeau, he belonged from the nobility, even he belonged from the first stage, but his sympathy, his devotion, he would not agree with the categorization of French society. He very contributed to make the constitution. On the other hand, Abysses, he was the priestly class, he was a clergy, and he also written a pamphlet, a small book, What is Third State? He elaborated the pain of the third state, student. And finally, the constitution was drafted and Louis XVI had no option to accept the constitution, and finally he accepted to adhere the constitution. He could not take lonely decision, and France converted into the constitutional monarchy in 1792. This was a breaking point of the French Revolution, student. Thank you very much.